Okay, I'll be investigating my own thing. You just holler if you need something interesting. I will. Well, okay, shall we? Heck yeah! Let the investigation commence. We're still unclear on two key facts. How Mr. Frost's body came to be where we found it, and the source of the ubiquitum. You're right. Need some more intel. Indeed. Let's focus on the ubiquitum first and foremost. It's used in stuff like dish soap and paint, right? Correct. It's also bright red in color and has a distinctive minty fragrance. Okay, sounds like we know what we're looking for. Seems like the police have already removed the body. But why did the body of a victim from 18 years ago turn up in this fountain? Because he wasn't dead. He was not dead. Why wasn't it all rotten and stuff? Did it slowly shuffle its way here? Need I remind you that zombies aren't real? Seems like the body was preserved somehow. Really? Is that even possible? Hey, forensics guy, anything to report? Yes, ma'am. Traces of both ubiquitum and asphyxiant have been detected in the fountain. Not a surprise. I'm gonna say they're probably carried here by the stream from the autumn lane. In addition to those two chemicals, there's also a large amount of sugar. Composition of sugar is being analyzed as we speak. Sugar in the fountain. Where would it have come from? The flavored ice melting? Miss Bounds' tea set is laid out neatly on a serving court. Pamphlet says the gallery is famous for its tea. Understandably so. The cup we were given was delicious. Looks like all the stuff was designed by Mr. Frost. Interesting. In that case, I think we better take a closer look. What is this? A caddy containing Ceylon tea leaves. It's a well-crafted tea canister designed to preserve moisture and sunlight from damaging its contents. Not a bad thing to use considering the quality of the blend Miss Bound serves. So this is the dishware this dishware was made by Artie Frost. It looks very fancy. Oh, it is. I'm willing to bet that this set can fetch something in the thousands of dollars. Let's try not to touch any of it unless we absolutely have to. Whoa, this stuff is really worth that much? Stop it, Kay. I can see your eyes lighting up. This man must be really big fan of Mr. Frost, like Fender said to this. Hey, Eddie! What is it? You be careful with that teapot, you hear? Wait, was that? You be careful with that teapot, you hear? Why is Larry so concerned all of a sudden? Honored guest. I can pour you a cup if you like. Miss Bound. Judy. I'm good, thanks. No tea for me. You two knock yourselves out. Thank you for the offer. Yes, why not? A quick break won't hurt. 2 cups coming right up. This smells great. Wow, it tastes even better than it smells. What type of tea is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's Ceylon. I believe it's usually identifiable by the citrus or aroma, but... Wait. Then we have... Did it say one of them was like super sweet smelling? Miss Bone, is it the same blend you served this morning? Why, yes, it's all right. Is there anything wrong with it in there? They've been putting a strong emphasis on this tea. This tea has to be a part of it. Oh, no, not at all. Just that the cup you gave me earlier had slightly different aroma. Really? That's odd. I used the exact same blend both times. I can see what could account for the difference. Hey, what's the big idea? What be you mean to Cutie's tea, will you? What's gotten under your skin, Larry? Nothing. You're just rude, that's all. You don't even try to call me by my right name. It's Larry Stoneham, dang it. You know what? I'm done. I'm done talking to you anymore. Well, that was childish, even for him. Wow, what happened there? Let's ask him about it later, shall we? Talking to Miss Bound is more of a priority right now. We may not have evidence to prove that she's the culprit. It does seem likely that the poison gas was her doing. The color and aroma. I'd say this is a puddle of spilled tea. Oh. Something broke. Look, there's a small chunk of ceramic in it. Somebody must have broken something. I know that insignia. And a certain high-strung somebody might just know a little something about it too. Where'd this cart come from? Wait. Not that one. Oh, we don't have the other ones. This was in one of the photos before. Somebody must have moved something heavy. The top of the platform seems to be wet. You know, I've got a funny feeling I've seen this thing somewhere before. You mean like 18 years ago? Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Well, I saw it in Frost's room. There's it. You must have used it to move the ice sculptures around. One of those fancy numbers you can change, where you can change not only the platform site, but even its angle. If you had one of these, you can move giant lumps of ice around, no sweat. Oh, just think of the possibilities. Could really use one of these. Well, it doesn't explain what it's doing here, though. Bit of a head scratcher. We should give it a think, yeah? Indeed. After all, it might just have something to do with our case. Oh, not that button. Look like this pillow lets you adjust the height of the platform, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. Let's give it a try. If you would, Kay. On it. Is it gonna be blood? Ta-da! A single person could transport quite a heavy load using one of these. I'll say. I bet even Gummy I could even carry off Gummy with it. And for what purpose exactly, may I ask? How is there nothing else? There's nothing else that's sticking out. The top of the platform is wet. Maybe someone used it to move something liquidy around. Yes, but the question is who and what. It appears to be everything. Wait, haven't we seen these letters before? This is a mark of the sculptor Paul Hillqueen. But how's a chunk of ceramic end up in the middle of a puddle anyway?
It's just a hunch.
One suspect quickly comes to mind. Alright, Judy, what are you hiding from us? Where were you before you joined us here, Miss Bound? I had to go tell the visitors we're closed. Oh, and a little hand out a little something, an apology. So was there something you wanted to talk to me about? Yes, a few things actually. Not least of all, the fact that I think you might be the one who set the poison gas trap. The original ice sculpture melted 18 years ago, correct? How did you manage to recreate them? Oh, you know about what happened back then. In that case, you might also know I took pictures of them during the contest. I commissioned the creation of the set replicas based on the photographs of the current exhibit. But why go through the trouble of creating replicas? Mr. Frost's Zodiac's series was his great unfinished masterwork. I wanted to see it completed at last. Or rather, recompleted. It was my fault that the original set melted in the first place, after all. I see. And is there any particular reason why the winter and autumn wings look so similar? Oh my, you really think they look alike? Perhaps I used some decorations from one or the other by accident. Yeah. She's clearly hiding something. She's clearly lying. I don't have the evidence to prove it just yet. This left cart. I heard it was used 18 years ago, too. That's right. It was in another room earlier until I brought it out here. It's very useful moving large, heavy objects around. But why is it wet? Was it used to carry something wet? What kinds of pharmaceutical recipes are in the Ultimate Cookbook? Oh, there are so many. It would take a while to go through them all. But if you really want to know, well then let's start the show. Come join me as we sing the song in a nifty, thrifty 2 hours long. Now, one by one, we'll sing things that the world's best little cookbook brings. What do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Want to listen to the rest? No, that won't be necessary. You're a very successful actress, Miss Mound. Why did you decide to become a gallery owner? You know, the two things don't feel all that different to me. Movies, musicals, confectionery, sculpture, art, they're all the same, really. But they all have the same aim in mind. To invoke an emotional response. That's what all artists strive for. So is that what Laurice is striving for too? Let's get one thing straight. Try as Larry might, a fancy name does not an artist make. Hello there, dearie. Still investigating away, are you? Found anything interesting? No, dearie. Well, nothing much anyway. Silly girl, that wasn't a dearie moment. Was a lamb bumpkin. Sweetheart is for when you mean sympathetic, of course, and a treasure is when you and it is. This is nothing. I'm going to keep this simple, Larry. You're hiding something, so just tell me what it is. Whoa! Could whisk the glare off you two. It's weird. Aw, come on, Kay. You know me better than that. I wasn't staring. I was struck by an idea for a picture. Now Edgy, he was glaring. Yes, and I will keep glaring at you until you tell us what it is you're hiding. Quit it! I already told you I'm not talking to you anymore. You're talking to me right now. I mean, from now on, I'm not talking to you ever again. Starting now. This is getting nowhere. I suppose I'll have to figure out what he's hiding first before I can get the whole truth out of him. Come on, Larry. What are you hiding? Not saying. Look, you two. This is no time for kids' games. Well, I certainly wasn't playing. It's pretty clear Larice isn't going to talk to you. Oh, he'll talk. Don't you worry about that. You don't know what Larry is hiding. I think I might have an idea what it is. Oh, he's the one that broke the cup. He's definitely the one that broke this. Would you mind taking a look at this for me, Larry? Why would you show me that? Tell me, was it about Miss Bound's tea set that got you all so agitated? If you won't tell me, then perhaps you'd prefer to explain it to Judge Gavelle. Wait, don't make me look bad in front of Verity. She thinks I'm sensible, cool, clean-cut guy. I don't want her to see the real me, the real low-down, dirty me. I'm not so sure anybody here thinks you're particularly clean-cut, Larry. But if you don't want her to think badly of you, the best thing you can do is talk to me. All right, I'll talk. All right, Larry, enough is enough. Now confess. Is this any way to treat your best friend, Edgy? Is this any way for you to treat yours? By lying to him? Hiding things? I get the picture already. Well, stop glaring at me like that. I'll tell you everything, okay? Earlier, I thought Verity might like a cup of tea. So I went to pour one for her. I got distracted, my hand slipped and smashed. I broke the teapot. And priceless work of art. It's pieces because of me. No words exist to describe how far away I saw this coming from. Ouch. You really messed up this time, Larice. See, Edgy, everyone's going to think less of me now. Judy's never going to forgive me for this. Crying to me won't do you any good. I think you need to apologize to Miss Bound. My teapot. I see. The thing is, there's one broken, but we still got the one sitting on the table. I don't think we really had any indication there was multiple, did we? My teapot. I see. I'm sorry, Judy. I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll paint a portrait. I'll paint you 50 portraits. Please, Mr. Dunham. It really is me who should be apologizing. How could I fail to notice that there were broken pieces of ceramic on the floor? Somebody could have been hurt. Here, let me make sure this is safely disposed of. The teapot in question was designed by Artie Frost, correct? I understand it was something you've long treasured. You must be upset. Oh, I am. But of course, those things break eventually. As luck would have it, I have another identical teapot. It's far from the end of the world. Is she less attached to Mr. Frost's work than she used to be? I can't believe this, Judy. You're the sweetest, the kindest. The other teapot you're talking about, is this the one sitting on top of the cart right now? What do you mean? So when I smashed the first one, I tried to hide the pieces in the bottom of the cart. That's when I saw that other pot under there. So I took it out and basically switched the pots. Oh, I see. Yep, that's everything I have to tell you. Be extra careful not to break the other one. I promise. You have no shame whatsoever, do you? I'm sorry. It's quite all right. Thank you for being so honest. I trust you won't take advantage of her kindness and will make this amends somehow. I sure will. Once I make it as an artist, I'm going to give her one of my paintings. She was one of my models after all. It's only fair. At this rate, I suspect he's likely to make more trouble than amends. Don't you think it would be better for you to keep out of her way for a long while? Oh, I will, but I'm keeping out of her way because I would sketch her as the others already. Her and others? Getting to see my work, huh? Yeah, I drew a few great sketches. And some ravishing beauties want to see. Interested in Larissa's ravishing beauties, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm afraid you were greatly misguided, Kate. I simply wish to see if Larry has captured any unusual details this time, too. Unusual details? Nothing unusual about these. They're my best works yet. Really? Now I want to see them too. Aw, here's a sweetheart, Kay. Alright, let me dig them out for you. Give me a sec, okay? I suppose we might as well take a look. These sketches of yours. Seriously, Edgy, if you wanted to check out my art, you should have just said so from the get-go. Here, feast your eyes on this. Oh boy. I have a couple problems with this. Mainly, Exhibit A, right here on the bottom. What is she doing in the fountain? Exhibit B, where's the tea on the cart? What am I looking at here? I told you already, ravishing beauties. There's a few fair faces that have caught my eye since I've been here, you know. There's Verity and Judy and somebody else. Why did you draw them all on the same page? Well, I meant to draw the room at first. Just something to pass the time. I saw one beauty and another, well, I just scribbled on all of them down as I went. Well, these were all drawn at different times. Huh? Yeah, I guess. I did one for you too, Kay. You're on a different page, though. Wow, you did? I'm flattered. How true to life are these sketches? Did you only draw what you actually saw? Of course. You think I drew things like I can't see? Like using my imagination? Nope. These are 100% true to life right down to every shade of each color. The colors are accurate. Interesting. Much as it pains me to admit it, they may have provided me with a useful piece of evidence yet again. The serving card in the sketch, for example, if I compare it to the one in this room, it's a clear contradiction. I think a little deduction is in order. Could I borrow this page for a while, Larry? Sure thing, if you want me to sign it for you. You want me to sign it for you? Just a page, please. I suspect the difference in aroma we noticed is due to the teapots having been switched. You do? I can't see what else it could have been. The tea itself hasn't changed. Why don't we ask Miss Bound just to be sure? Miss Bound. The difference in the aroma we noticed. Do you think it could have been because of the different teapot? I suppose so. My cup just now had a subtle minty scent, rather like uva tea. Mint, you said, Edgeworth? Oh, I just remembered. I made some peppermint tea in that pot only yesterday. That must have been where the minty aroma came from. Could that really be it? Oh boy. The tea from the teapot Larry switched in from under the cart smelled faintly of mint. Right. Miss Bounce said she used that teapot to make peppermint tea yesterday. Yes, but there's something else that's been troubling me. Miss Bouncy is more taken aback by the switching of the teapots than the breaking of one. You're right. You'd expect it to be the other way around. I suspect she might have deliberately been hiding the teapot underneath the cart. But why? One of Wickham's key characteristics is minty fragrance. So what if she had been hiding some in that teapot? What? In a teapot? It is a possibility. But one worth investigating, I believe. Mr. Winter, any luck finding that ubiquium? Huh? Oh. My people are searching the entire gallery, but they haven't found anything yet. And what about you? Don't tell me you know where it came from. I may have an idea. Aha! I knew it. If I can't find it, there's no chance of you... What? I think I have an idea. Oh, well, I knew you would... Wait, what did you say? You do know where it came from? Yes. What? Where? Miss Bound's teapot. Wow, nice piece. I like it. Yeah, this looks like a fitting prize for a natural-born winner. Are you even listening? It's not a prize. It's a vital piece of evidence. Oh, it's just evidence? I'll have one of the forensics people check it out. Mr. Edgeworth, is there some sort of problem with my teapot? Possibly. The minty fragrance we noticed coming from it. I think it just might be the scent of the chemicals used to make the poison gas. But, Mr. Edgeworth, surely you don't think I had anything to do with that? I'm afraid I do. The method used to create the gas would have required considerable preparation. But nobody would have had the time or the opportunity to set up that except you. That's not strictly true. Took around a week to get the Zodiac Hall ready for the exhibition. There were all kinds of people coming and going throughout the year during that time. Delicia, for one. So you see, I'm not the only person who could have set it all up. Miss Scone is on my radar too, of course. You wouldn't need to worry about that. And besides, I wouldn't know the first thing about making poison gas. So even if you did find some ubiquium in my teapot, I wouldn't have had any idea what to do with it. Can't agree with you there. I can't agree with you there. But I suppose we should see what the test results say first. Bound claims she doesn't know the first thing about making poison gas. Need to find a way that proves that she's lying. Edward speaking. Sir, it's me. Is everything all right, detective? Everybody's left Winter Wing. Just me in here now. Which means I can tell you what we found. You really shouldn't be sharing information on the investigation. But after the past week or so, I'm not about to stop him now. The exhibits in here have all completely melted. All that's left is the display cases and some stuff at the bottom. Most of it is in the Tauros case. In a Gemini case, though. Describe this stuff for me if you can. Yes, sir. It's like a pale blue liquid. Just had a lab run some tests just now. Sample from Toro's case just had a bunch of sugar in it. The Gemini, I guess, has 3 different substances in it. Which were sugar, salt, and blood.
Blood?
What are salt and blood doing in those Gemini case samples? Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir.
Please do, detective.
Oh, I've also spoken over the radio to the forensics guy working on the fountain room. They just got word about the sugar they found in the mountain matches the sugar in the pale blue liquid.
I see. This might well prove to be significant development.
Was the body in one of the ice sculptures and she moved it?
Anything else to report, detective?
Yes, sir. We found one of those light emitting devices in here in a winter wing, too.
There were a few of those being used in the autumn wing to disguise the winter wing, as I recall. Seems the equipment from 18 years ago is more than just for show. Need to talk to Miss Scone about this.
Anyhow, I better be getting back to it. Let you know as soon as we hear in the lab about that blood.
Yes, thank you, detective.
Was that Gummy? Seemed like he had a lot to say.
He did, and all of it very useful. I'm going to prove that Miss Bound's claims about who could have set up the poison gas trap are false. We need to talk to somebody else who was here 18 years ago.
Hey, you.
Miss Scone, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may.
Of course, dearie. Fire away. Anything for you, Milesy Smilesy. My dear, sweet little Tootsie Decay. Tooth Decay. Oh, good grief.
I'd appreciate it if that was the last time you called me Milesy Smilesy.
And I'm not a fan of Tooth Decay either. Well, you just have to say you like it or lump it. I can't change the nickname once I've settled on it. Well, I guess we tried.
What can you tell us about the various devices used to decorate the gallery exhibits? There seems to be some pretty specialized items in use. Light emitting devices, luminous fabrics.
Oh, I can tell you all about those, dearie. After all, I'm the one who gave them to Moody Judy. That was my way of saying sorry after I broke the rules all those years ago. I bought her 4 lovely new salt lumps and gave them to her as the 4 pieces gave them to her. I gave her the 4 pieces of luminous cloths I used for the contents. Wow, that's super generous of you. Well, us girls have to do our best, don't we? Not everybody understands, of course.
Now we better not. Better not be a dig at me, Delish. I told you how kind I thought I was.
Yes, back to where you were, my dear, sweet, innocent baby boy. What happened to you, eh? A dear, sweet, innocent baby boy? Mr. Fender? I can't picture that, I have to say.
These decorations, they're all the same ones that you saw 18 years ago, correct? Yep, salt lumps, glowing fabrics, light emitting doodads, the whole bit. There were 4 luminous cloths in use in the Ultimate. I'm sure I saw another one somewhere. She had the candy and the cloth. Maybe I should jog her memory with something. Miss Scone will tell us more. You had a piece of fabric like this in your bag, did you not, Miss Scone? Albeit a somewhat grimmer one.
Grimy? How rude! Will you people cooperate with your little investigation?
Shall I call it a dish towel then? Perhaps you used it to wipe up something, some sort of spillage?
A spillage, you say? Not cheek. That's a piece of highly specialized luminous cloth. Oh, I probably shouldn't have told you that.
I think I'd like to know a little more about this highly specialized luminous cloth, if you don't mind. Miss Gold, you're something of a specialist. How might someone learn about making a poison gas that was used in an attack? Any ideas?
Well, any pharmacist who has ever handled Infesticide Ultra would know from the start. After all, it says right there on the label, do not mix with products containing ubiquium, ever.
But what about a layperson? It's unlikely they'd know, would you say?
I suppose so, yes. Well, not unless they had a nose through the Ultimate Cookbook anyway.
Prize from the contest 18 years ago. Yeah, that's how she figured it out.
A recipe for making Infesticide Ultra along with that not mix the ubiquium a bit in there, you know?
So you're familiar with the contents of the book?
Oh yes, dear. I know it inside out. Because I work for the Tangaroa Group, you see. Or the company behind Cold Killer X. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Cold Killer X. Well, I expect Sniffles and Skeezes with ease, apparently.
After Sammy people was found guilty, the company took custody of the book. But they only grant their most trusted people access to it, of course.
Which means Miss Scone is one of the elites, I suppose. Why didn't you want me to know you had a piece of luminous cloth in your bag?
Oh, well, I suppose there's no point in hiding it out. Now it's out there, is there? If you must know, I fished it out as a fountain. It was right before they called me into the Autumn Wing.
So Larry's sketch of Miss Scone is from when she was trying to retrieve the cloth.
At first, I thought it was just one of the ones I'd given Moody Duty.
One of the 4 you'd given it to the gallery, correct?
Exactly. But all 4 were being used in the Autumn Wing, weren't they? So I realized it must be the one that went missing all those years ago. I'd already had my Infesticide Ultra pinched and used to make a poison gas. If one of my cloths turned up that to have been used in some sort of dastardly deed too, well, I was going to look guilty as sin, wasn't I? So I kept it hidden in my bag and hoped for the best.
I see.
Oh, it does feel good to get it off my chest, though. Stress is no good for your complexion.
The cloth that disappeared 18 years ago on the one that the victim was wrapped in has reappeared in the fountain at the same time as the body. Things are progressing. The fuller picture of what happened is beginning to emerge. Good to hear. I guess I better step up my game too then. Oh, you have info for us. This case seems to have a lot in common with the incident from 18 years ago. Now, it's got a lot. And how? It's got a lot. Melting statues in a winter wing, and even a murder victim's body.
But how did nobody even figure out that the body had gone missing?
Ross had no family apart from his son. And well, this kid kind of vanished. Nobody's seen him since the time of the incident.
Really?
Gusto's son too. Him and his best pal from school. Was just up and disappeared.
What?
This is interesting.
What? They were never found?
Gusto's boy wasn't. Not as far as I've heard, anyhow. Yes, Frost Kid turned up in the end, though. collected his inheritance at some point. But yeah, with no family around after the incident, Ross got no funeral, no nothing. No need for the police to release the body, and no need for anybody to find out they didn't have it. They filed their fake autopsy report, and nobody was any wiser. Well, almost nobody. Still can't believe Mr. Von Karma would have stooped so low. Tell me, Fender, what kind of person is Miss Bound? Huh? Wait a minute. Don't tell me you've got the thing for her, Milester. I do not. Chill. I'm just yanking your chain. Anyway, what can I say about Juice? Well, she's a real brave trooper for one. What else can you call someone who waits around for 18 whole years like she has for Samson? Even after his extended family kicked her out of this place.
What? They threw her out?
Yep. It wasn't technically part of the family. There was nothing she could do. She had nothing. Nobody. And after no job after Samson took the fall. She had no choice but to take what he had taught her and make her own way in showbiz. She retired from all that now, though. Yes, why did she retire? She finally made enough to buy the old place back. And got the alternate cookbook back from the Tangarella group. Oh. That's big. Guess the place has everything to do with what she cared about. We wanted it back, all of it. Bender seems sympathetic towards Miss Bound's plight. But from a less charitable perspective, she has, in a way, taken everything of Mr. Tangaroa's for herself. That... Oh boy. So she probably... So, my guess at this point... He's the killer from before. Tangaroa was helping cover for him. She's figured that out and did the poison gas thing to try to get back at him for revenge. That's kind of what I'm picking up. If he was the guilty party from before, her doing this out of revenge makes a whole lot of sense. The ultimate cookbook contained instructions on how to create the poison gas. And the current owner of that book is none other than Miss Judy Bound. No way. You mean... I'm afraid I do. Miss Bound would have had been perfectly capable of setting up the gas trap. And finally, we can prove that she's been lying to us. Oh, I didn't re-examine the cart. There we go. Larry, could I ask you something about your sketches? Fascinated by the work of the great Laurie Stoneham, huh? This comparison. Is it the composition, right? Not exactly. This is the light blue tablecloth you painted exactly as you saw it, correct? I already told you, everything's exactly as I saw it. But the tablecloth on the cart in this room is white. So the blue tablecloth he saw was this, most likely. It shows his light blue in here. Could be. Wow. You're so full of crazy theories. It's simple stuff that just passes right by you, huh? What's that for? Listen, just before I drew that sketch, I was in the middle of some business with the cart with the tea set on it, okay? What kind of business? That's right, it was hiding the pieces in the teapot I smashed. Kind. That's nothing to boast about. Anyway, I was still in the middle of cleaning it all up when Judy came out of the winter wing. I didn't want to get busted for breaking the pot, so I quickly dove out of sight. Oh. Wait, Miss Bound came out with a winter wing. Yeah, she was pushing a cart. A different one. That's the one with the light blue tablecloths on it I drew. Ooh. What did she do with the second serving cart? Well, I saw her wheel into the summer wing, but I don't know what happened after that. She came back out after pushing one of those carts. The kind you lift stuff with. A lift cart. Yeah, so I called out to her, but she ran off and left it behind. Never a down and shy type, but there she goes. You never know. Another serving cart and a lift cart.
There may be another tea set too.
You better check with Miss Bound. Are there 2 serving carts here at the gallery, Miss Bound?
Oh, yes. Why do you ask?
A certain so-called artist showed us this sketch. I couldn't help but notice that the tablecloth is light blue.
Light blue? I'm afraid your friend must be mistaken. I use white tablecloths, freshly laundered and starched. Like the perfect wrinkle face on the cart here in the fountain room, right? Exactly. If I saw so much as a blemish, I would replace it right away.
The color of tablecloth in the sketch simply be a mistake on Larry's part. Do you have any idea what it might? Any idea of what you might have been doing when the sketch was drawn?
Let me see. I appear to be carrying out my usual duties.
I'd like to ask you more about these duties, if you I may. What exactly were you doing when the sketch was drawn? Because from what I can see, your cart doesn't have any tea set on it.
I was delivering those chocolates to the investigating officers. Aw, now I'm jealous. I love chocolate. Well, there are a few left over, so here, for both of you. I made them myself. I hope you like them. Woohoo! Thanks, Miss Bound.
Well, why not? They're a little melted, but I suppose that's because they've been sitting around in her pocket.
They're super sweet. I loved them. I'm very glad to hear it.
They may not be the prettiest, but I'm grateful for the energy boost nonetheless. So perhaps they could do with a little less sugar. And that's that. All that's left now is to await the results of the test on the teapot. Test results have just come in, sir. Traces of ubiquin were found in the teapot.
They were. Just like Mr. Edgeworth said.
Curse you, you'd better not think this means you beat me. You really need to drop this obsession with coming in first, Mr. Winner. We're all on the same side here, remember? We're all trying to get the truth.
But first is best. Everyone knows it's better to be a winner than a loser.
That's really no way for a prosecutor to think. Not a successful one, anyway.
What? But I... Enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Please refrain from taunting the boy. Ignore him, Eustace. He isn't worthy of your attention.
Woman!
He is a child. He needs to learn this stuff. But Gavel, all right. Why don't I take care of things here for now? In the meantime, you can perform the far more important task of going and checking on the victim. Oh, yeah, good idea. I'll be right back. Excellent. We shall see you shortly then. Mr. Winter's annoying, but totally harmless. Judge Gavel, on the other hand. Now. Miss Bound, perhaps you could explain why traces of ubiquium were found in your teapot. I had no idea there was anything like that in there. Perhaps it's one of the ingredients in dishwashing soap I use. So you telling the court that you did not intentionally put the ubiquium in the teapot? Yes, exactly. Why would I? Until today, I had no idea that it could even be used to make poisonous gas.
Objection!
You're a trained actress, are you not, Miss Bound? I'd have thought you would have more convincing, but I thought you'd be a more convincing liar.
What do you mean?
You have access to the Ultimate Cookbook, correct? A book that just happens to contain instructions on how to create the poison gas used in the attack. I mean, it's perfectly possible for you to know exactly how to make it.
You're very well informed, Mr. Edwards. Miss Bound, is what Mr. Edwards said true? The book does contain information on how to make the poison gas, yes. But the fact that I have seen it doesn't make me guilty. Can I ask how exactly the gas was triggered? The victim used a blowtorch in order to heat the liquid in one of the display cases, thereby melting the ubiquium. I see. But he locked himself in that room, didn't he? Surely is that and the fact that he triggered it himself would point to it being a suicide attempt.
So she's not willing to admit anything.
Furthermore, where would I have gotten a hold of the infesticide ultra?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you stole it.
You know, I did bump into Moody Judy a week or so ago. And that very evening, I noticed my infesticide ultra had gone missing. Judy, surely you didn't. Delicia, you carry your bag of pharmaceuticals with you everywhere, don't you? There would have been any number of opportunities for someone other than myself to have steal it from you.
That's true. I don't have any hard evidence that it definitely was Miss Bound who stole it. Dude, there's clearly something you're not telling us. Why don't you just come clean, hmm? We all know you'd never hurt somebody for no reason, so...
Not you too. You think I'm guilty as well, Mr. Fender?
Can you blame me? We've got one wing disguised as another, a gas trap in one of the display cases. And you, the proprietor of the establishment, it's looking a lot like you did it, kiddo.
You've got this all wrong. You have to remember the gallery doesn't have any security cameras, nor security personnel. Some ill-intended person or other walked in to get in undetected. I don't think you'd have much of a problem. Wow, you're practically asking to be burglarized. You need to be more careful. A great thief could come and have a field day in here.
And I don't think she's joking.
Nope. She ain't lying. And actually, it seems that Mr. Gusto did, in fact, enter the gallery before it opened.
Eesh. Judy's one tough cookie. He's not budging an inch. Maybe it's time to rock a little technique Gregory taught me back in the day. What technique might that be? Hear me out. Everything's connected to what happened 18 years ago, yeah? And this we're not getting anywhere by focusing only on the here and now. Maybe we ought to approach this from a different angle and look back at the past for clues instead. A turnabout in thinking. So my father used this method as well. Alright, let's run this through the old Tinkatron. How was Jude's involved in what happened back then? According to Miss Bound, it was because of her that Mr. Frost's favorite ice sculpture melted. Yet, his sculptures are here on display at this very gallery today. Is it possible that she... Thank you, Mr. Fender. I think I know what I need to ask Miss Bound now. Don't thank me. Thank your pops. Now take it away, Milesy. I'll grab the popcorn. Miss Bound, you say that you're the one who caused Mr. Frost's creations to melt 18 years ago, correct?
I'm afraid so. I was so young and foolish that it was a terrible accident.
Yeah, why did you allow... Why did you... And yet, what you did allowed you to open this exhibit, no?
What do you mean? Yes, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If you're going to ask such questions, perhaps a formal testimony from Miss Bound might be the best.
Yes, perhaps it might. I'd like to know a little more about Zodiac Hall. And about why Miss Bound decided to dedicate this space to Mr. Frost's work.
Very well. If you believe it to be relevant to this case, I will allow it. Miss Bound, would you mind? Not at all. I'll do whatever it takes to prove I'm not innocent. Then please, if you could give us some background on Zodiac Hall and the pieces on display here. It took 18 years, but at long last, I was finally able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago. But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many of Paul Hilliquy's pieces as I could from around the world. Because, if I'm honest, I've always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work. Thank you for your testimony, Miss Bound. How wonderful it is you were able to fill your dream. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, everything's entirely above board to me.
Judge Cavell, that was simply the witness's preliminary statement. As you surely know, the value of that testimony cannot be evaluated without due cross-examination.
Spoken like a true attorney. Very well. You may do what you must.
Paul Hilliquy. That was Frost's pseudonym, correct?
Yes, he adopted it. Yes, he adopted it while he was working as a sculptor in France.
I see. I'm curious about some pieces in your collection. More specifically, how were you able to acquire the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? It was my understanding that Mr. Frost died before he could complete them.
Yes, I was able to recreate the replicas in the Winter Ring based on the photographs of the sculptures he made.
Really? Perhaps you could go into some more detail on that.
Hold it!
Those photos you mentioned, you mean the ones you yourself took in Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago?
Yes, because you certainly know a lot about what happened back then, Mr. Edgeworth. So those statues in the Winter Ring were just copies? I didn't even get to see them before they melted.
No, the sculptures in question were definitely not replicas. Which means that Miss Bound is lying.
I know, it's such an awful shame after we went to the trouble to recreate them too.
Sculptures in the Winter Ring weren't replicas. They're the very ones from 18 years ago. I need to show her I'm aware of that, or I'll never get the truth.
Oh, it's probably this. Sugar composition matches that as found in the The pale blue liquid in Artie Frost's room 18 years ago.
Objection!
It's the same thing. I'm afraid you've run out of road, Miss Bound. You can lie all you like, but you can't deny the results of the tests conducted on the sculpture's remains. And those tests leave no room for ambiguity. What you had on display weren't replicas. They were the very statues Mr. Frost carved 18 years ago. Oh, I can probably explain how they worked it out, if you like, dear. It's the sugar, you see. You might think sugar is sugar. Sugar, sugar is sugar. But the composition is actually very unique. I could probably recreate the statues, but the sweet scent of their chemical makeup, no chance. Thank you, Miss Scone. I don't recall asking for her help, but still. To put it simply, the statues didn't disappear back then because they melted. They disappeared because you spirited them away and kept them hidden for these 18 long years. What? You kept a pair of flavored ice sculptures around somewhere for all that time? That's not the most out there idea in the world, assuming you had a big enough icebox.
Overruled.
Quiet, all of you. Miss Bound, have you anything to say in your defense? So you've already learned that much. Should I take that to mean you admit to having the flavored ice sculptures in question? No, I admit to no such thing. You haven't proven that I was the one who took those statues away. And you won't, because it would have been impossible for me to do so in the first place. The police were already here by the time when they disappeared. How could I have done it without them noticing? How indeed. I don't yet know exactly how you did it. But I'm far from ready to say that it was impossible for you to have stolen them away. You're a very persistent man, aren't you, Mr. Edgeworth? I am indeed, and I won't stop until I get the truth. I see. Then I'd better tell you exactly what I did that day 18 years ago. The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Samson. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later, around when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present. And that's when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. And those were my movements on the day it all happened. I hardly see how you could take issue with any of that. Girl, did you leave out the part? Did you leave out the part where you went and took this photo over here? That's for us to decide, Miss Bound. Are you saying there's a contradiction in her story, Mr. Edgeworth? More focused on proving the fact that she did indeed steal those statues. The question is, when would she have had the opportunity to do so? If I can pinpoint that, I might be able to prove what exactly she got up to.